Well, hello. I am at the end of my day after my second round of chemo. Um, I can first of all tell any of you that are in the process of going through this and you're considering whether or not to have a port done, um, get one, especially if you're not good with needles, but even if you aren't, because I had a friend of mine tell me that she went through all of her chemo and her veins blew out on her second to last and last visit for her chemo. And that's no good because you can get an infection under the skin. It's very painful. Having the port put in was more painful than I thought it would be. And I know I mentioned this earlier because the lidocaine, I guess, had not taken place. And I had a little bit of pain afterwards, but that was a couple of days. I'm only 4 days out of having this procedure done, and today's experience having to access the port for my blood draw and for all of my chemotherapy and all of my medications to be given to me was a walk in the park, One sharp prick and it was done. It was done. Nothing. No, I mean, it was just amazing. It was so much easier. And the other thing that I noticed when I had my first chemo treatment, we did it intravenously in my arm. And when they flush out after each round of meds, after each round of chemo, to flush all the medicine that's in there out, to get it out and to make sure that it's fresh and ready for the next thing that they're going to do, they were having trouble getting a good flush. And I think it just has to do maybe like with the size of the veins. But anyway, there was never a problem. I was getting good blood flow. The flushes were easy. And even though my treatment's extremely long and I'm there literally all day long, it went faster because we weren't wasting time just trying to flush and thinking, oh, we might have to access another vein. So yeah, is there a risk of infection? Sure, but it's kind of like there's a risk of infection for just about anything when you're going through this and your white blood cell counts get low. So for me, I'm extremely happy that I did this. I've had another friend of mine through the grapevine tell me to make sure that I am more fully anesthetized when they take it out, because for the period of time that I'll have it in, other things could start to attach to it and it could be somewhat painful to take that out. So I'll make sure and talk to them about that. The other thing that I started today after, which was again surprisingly less painful than what I had in my brain that it was going to be, was this thing. So this is my new Neulasta delivery system. And what this little thing does is tomorrow, 27 hours after my last chemo treatment, it will beep and then it will start administering the medicine that's in here, the Neulasta, and that will help to start rebuilding my white blood cells and keep them from dying off while the chemo is killing off the cancer cells. So that's the whole gist of it. That's the idea, and that's what we want, right? Thumbs up for that. So, and then an hour after this is done, I just pull it off my arm, and I was given the information for the company so that I can collect this and all the other ones that I'll have, and then send them in what do they call that? Like a sharp disposal thing, like I guess you would see at the doctor's office, because it was kind of cool. She put it on and I was doing this. I was waiting for it to like stab me. And I said, when am I going to feel anything? She goes, I'll give it about 3 minutes and it'll beep. And then it'll flick you like a rubber band snap. And that's the needle going in. And then it comes out and it leaves in the catheter, and the catheter is what's going to administer the drug. And I was like, really? And she goes, yeah. And we're talking and she's finishing out my charts and everything. And I'm like, when's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? Then all of a sudden, beep, 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 snap. And that was it. That is the best description, what she gave for snapping a rubber band. It was really, really, really how it felt. So no big deal. So I don't have anything to complain about for that. I would say today, as far as how I felt during chemo, we started really, really early with having this access in my blood draw. So my friend Dennis and I were on the road this morning, like 5:30, 5:45, to make sure. I mean, you know how the highways can be, the freeways can be in the mornings, especially morning traffic when you have to travel that far. All it takes is one accident, and you thought you were going to be 15 or 20 minutes early, and you're 45 minutes to an hour late. So we just got there early, and everything was fine. But where was I going with that? How I felt. This time, same thing, was sleepy after they give me the Benadryl, which, I mean, that's kind of normal. But it was not until about a third of the way through my first treatment, which I call my hot treatment, because that drug is very, very hot, and it heats up, and it heats your body up as it goes in. But in the beginning, I was cold, and I was all bundled up, and the drug was making me feel very sleepy. So I asked them to turn out the lights. I reclined my chair, and I just kind of napped while Dennis did some work. And then I woke up because I was very hot and having like a little hot flash. And so I took my beanie off and my blankets and everything. But other than that, you know, I felt really good during the treatment. I didn't seem to have any adverse reactions, which is good. And I feel good right now. I'm clear-headed. I'm curious to see what tomorrow will bring and each day after that. And I'm just very grateful that I have the opportunity to go through this with the experts that are treating me. I hope that if you're watching this and you're going through cancer treatment or considering cancer treatment, and there's some things that you can glean from this that maybe you didn't know before, I hope this can help. I really, really, really do. And I also want to say thank you so much. I've had friends and colleagues that have reached out with their support, and I've had some meals delivered and some donations, and I am so grateful for that. I've had some lovely homemade dinners. I got home today, and it's the end of the day and tired, and there was lovely chicken soup, and it was so nice and so thoughtful, and my heart is so full. I'm so blessed. I think in life you don't always really realize the type of people that you have in your life, and sometimes they've maybe never had an opportunity, or you've never had an opportunity to really understand their compassion and their love and their support. And going through this, I have had the blessing of seeing that. And I really think, for me, at a time when you turn on the news and you just feel like the hope for humanity is lost. And, you know, my Christian friends and I will have conversations about, you know, where the Bible is and end of times and things like that. And you just go, well, I don't know. And none of us will ever know when the day will be. And that's what God has told us. But at the same time, you can't help but wonder. And then I have all of you that reach out to me with prayers and support, notes, cards, prayer beads, and just your texts and your messages and everything. And I just go, wait a minute, how can there be no hope for humanity when someone as small as I am has had this kind of experience through my personal struggle? And if that is true, and it is, then we really do have hope because of all of you. And I am just so grateful to have each and every one of you in my life in some way, whether it's up close and personal, or it's at a distance. However we can communicate, I'm really grateful and blessed. I'm going to stop babbling and I'm going to get ready for bed. I hope you have a blessed evening.